Hi, Greg, DIY RV and Home Camper's Life. Today, you can see it's getting hot. I'm kind of sweating. It's supposed to be upwards of 170 degrees today. We're fixing to go camping tomorrow, and something I need to do is try to keep the refrigerator as cool as possible, especially on those hot days. So I'm going to go ahead and install this FridgeCool universal mount refrigerator vent fan. Now it says it can go into 3 locations, and that is at the bottom of the refrigerator, at the back, on the fins themselves, or at the top on the vent. Now, I'm not going to climb up top and do it through the top of the vent. I don't have room to put it on the coils, so I'm going to do it down below, towards the bottom of the refrigerator, on the back side. Now, this kit does come with the fan itself. It's got a thermostat in it that'll automatically turn it on at 100 degrees. It's got your wires pre-attached to it. You also get a couple metal straps, a mounting bracket to be able to mount this to the wall. It comes with your mounting hardware, your screws, a switch, a couple terminal ends. It has a plate for the switch and the instructions. So like I say, I'm going to be putting it down here on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my cover here, get that out of the way, and I'll show you where I'm going to put it. Now, we're going to go ahead and install it right here in this location. I'm going to go ahead and change the camera up so you get a better shot of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install it right here. And I've already got a hole going actually right behind my electrical distribution panel. So I'll just go ahead and get a little gap in the foam right there. I can feed my wires through. Now they do recommend a 1 amp fuse installed in line. That doesn't come with it, so we'll have to round up a fuse and fuse holder for that. But other than that, let's dive into this. Let's get this installed, and let's hopefully beat the heat. Now let's let's create some brackets how we want this mounted. Now it's got to be recessed a little bit because of how the back of the vent has got the louvers on it. So it does have to be recessed a little bit, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. And I'm going to go ahead and take and straighten these out. At least like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and figure out where I want it. Set it there and bend. Now, a pair of pliers would be a good thing to have too. That way you can get some nice bends, or it seemed to bend pretty good for me right there. So, and I want it down, so I think I'm gonna, this is all just by eye. And I want this one to come in because I've got the gas line right there. Oh, let's see. How's that look? I think that's looking good. I think that'll work. So we've got that one right there. Now I'm just going to make up another one just like this. All right. Now, since this is just plumber strap that they've snipped off, if you actually look, you can't actually come in and catch a hole, or one of these holes with that. I guess you can do it that way if you wanted to or something like that, but if I'm going this way, I can't on either side. So that would be something that I would say that they would need to do. If you look at this strap right here, it actually is on the small one, which allowed me to go ahead and catch it to where I can put a bolt through it. So that would be something that I would recommend that they might think about doing. Now the straps looks like they're different lengths. So what I'm going to do is just take and grab, and we're just going to bend that out of the way. So now I do have a way that I can capture one of the holes with a bolt. And then I can just kind of mock up this bracket, and of course this bracket. And again, there's the pliers, and how a little bit easier it is to make the bends with the pliers. We'll come down, since we want them about the same size. Come over, catch it right about there. And if you wanted to even get more closer on your measurements and everything like that, I mean, you can use tapes, you can use vise, you can actually get some a little bit stiffer brackets, but I think that's going to be just fine. Let's see, how close did we get? That's pretty much right there on size. So we now got our two brackets made. One thing we do need to do is we do need to figure out which way it is flowing. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and take my multimeter I've got right here. And this is the Meteric. Picked it up off of Amazon. So far, hasn't been too bad of a unit. It's an AC/DC amp, AC/DC volt, plus a slew of other things. We'll go ahead and set it to, we want to see volts, and we're on volts DC. We're going to go ahead and just check real quick. Looks like I've got 12 volts right there. Let's see. Set that up. Is that right? Okay. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but that is my 12 volts right there. So I'm going to actually just come in temporarily and touch my positive there and my negative to the ground and see which way that this flows. Now, of course, black's ground, red is going to be positive. All right, now temporarily, you know, there's other ways to do this too, but what I've done is I've just disconnected the control there. I've got a piece of wire wrapped around the connector because I know that's the 12 volt side. I can come in and I can go ahead and touch those two together, grab the negative, come over and just touch negative. Oop. I apologize. We were trying to bypass. So what I'm going to come and do, I'm actually going to catch the back side of the fan on the opposite side of the thermal switch. So I've got that. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to touch, and I can tell that it's blowing air that direction. And as we can see, the warning label there flapping. So there we go. Nice and quiet. So we want it to go that direction. Now let's go ahead and get this back off and get this back where it's supposed to be. Now we know we want it to sit in this orientation. For a second, we're testing. We're mocking up. Let's see how it fits. Look around, and she's hitting. So she's hitting the vent right there. So I do need to go in further. So I'm gonna have to make some custom straps. I'm gonna do that. I'll bring you back when I get those done, and I'll show you what I've done. All right, see you in a few. And we are back. Now, since I'm not one to make it easy on myself, here is the original strap. Okay, here's a strap that came with it that I kind of bent. Here's what I made. You know, had to do a little bit of welding and cutting and stuff like that. Had to make it a little bit hard on myself, but you don't have to do this. You can just, you know, if this will work for you, or if you just go get some flat metal or something like that. But I just had to make it hard on myself. It took me a few minutes, a little more sweat. Luckily, we got some cloud cover, a little bit of wind. So let's go ahead and get this installed, get the wires fished, then we can jump inside and get it wired up. So. Oh yeah, that thing's nice. Let's go ahead and mock up. So we're just gonna throw this in. And as we see, fits nice and flush. Looks like there's just enough room. So we know that's good. Now what we can do is go ahead and fish our wires in. Put this back. Actually, we can leave it open and then we'll go inside. There you are. We'll go inside and then we'll test it. See how it works. You know, might have to wait till it's 100 degrees out. Okay, now before we get into doing the wiring, if you're not comfortable with doing the wiring, please seek out somebody who is capable or competent or a professional to help you with this part of the project. Now, if you do feel like you want to go ahead and do this, make sure that your power is disconnected. Go ahead and disconnect your 12-volt batteries, disconnect the power to the trailer on the 110. That way it's all dead. For me, I'm going to leave it hooked up. I'm comfortable with working around electricity. I've done it for years. So one of the biggest things I'm going to do is my ring comes off. Even though I'm working with DC, still causes problems. So the ring comes off. I'm going to put it actually right on the little sticker that we have sitting over here, so I know exactly where it's at. Now it's time to jump in. Now I've got my wires run. I've got them pulled. Got the distribution panel pulled out. Right down here is my negative bus bar, and that's where I'm going to be tapping my negative into. And then for my positive right here, I'm going to actually be bringing that up, and I'm going to be putting my switch right here in this location. They come up with a little plate right here, so I'll put that plate right there. We'll put the switch in, and we'll wire the positive to that, and then the positive from that will come over and we'll come in, and I'm actually going to go to a 5 amp fuse that I'm using, which is right here, and I've got to get the 5 amp fuse. I was using 15 just for temporary, but so I'm going to get that done and then I'll bring you back. Again, like I was saying, I'm not going to show you how to do the wiring on this. I'm just showing you the finished product on this part of it. All right, so I'll be back when I got it all wired. got the wiring done. Show you what I did, and then we'll get it cleaned up. We'll go outside, we'll test it, make sure it's going to work properly, and then we'll get all buttoned up and get ready to go camping. So right here I had added a circuit in for my pantry lights. Now it's all LED, so it only takes 5 amps max, so I'm going to just put a 5 amp fuse in there, and then I've just connected my fan right to that one, and that red wire comes around and goes into the switch, and then on the other side of the switch the red wire is going out to the fan. The black wire from the fan came in and it's going down to the negative bus bar right down there on the floor. Now I did ferrule ends on anything that was just into connectors like that, and right here, and then I did spade ends here with some heat shrink tube on those. I don't know if you can really, there you might be able to see that, right like that. And you saw how I put that switch in. So let me get this buttoned up, we'll test it, and then I'll come back with my thoughts on it. Well, we've got it installed. Everything's put back together. Thought I was going to have to do some funky testing, way to get the fan to kick on, but you can see the sweat. It's hot enough. Fan is on, working like a champ. I can feel it. See if I can. So you can see that, you can see it blowing. And we can see the fan spinning right there. So I'll go ahead and get these cleaned up a little bit. Actually, it's not too bad. Maybe a little wire tie or two, but the install, fairly straightforward. You know, figure out where you're going to mount it, either near where I did, on the cooling fins themselves, or at the top of the vent. It's up to you. It comes with long enough wire. It only takes 1 amp, so it fused for 1 amp, so I mean really it's not that big of a draw. I should go get my amp meter and see how much is drawn, but it almost nothing. Switch, no problem installing, everything like that. Comes with that nice cover, so you're not having a nasty looking hole when you put the switch in, so that's kind of nice. One thing not happy with, and you probably go ahead and just get some metal for some brackets. You know, you can see what I did. I mean, I went overboard, of course, you know, but it actually looks pretty cool. We'll get some tests while we're out camping. We'll flip it off, see where the temperature is, kind of, and then we'll flip it on and see if it changes, improves it or not. But feels like there's a decent amount of airflow right there. So anyways, if you guys got something out of this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, happy camping.